After school that day, Henry goes over all 5 pupils' files to learn more about them. The first is Zulfa, the son of a Pakistani immigrant who has always faced prejudice due to his ethnicity. The cops in his neighborhood frequently suspect him of stealing. Zulfa's primary ambition in life is to pursue a career as a musician. Dinan, the second student, is a young lady. Since her birth, she has been a disappointment to her father, who had hoped for a son. Dinan has spent her entire life trying to earn her father's respect. She also cut her hair short and pretended to be a guy by playing with vehicles. Her father, on the other hand, is unconcerned about her while treating her younger brother like a prince. Then there are the Bruce and Chris brothers. When they were little, their mother ran away with a man, turning their father becoming an alcoholic. Growing up, the brothers had no one but each other to rely on. To avoid reality, Bruce grew infatuated with video games, while Chris toiled away at a grocery shop to support the family. Finally, Henry is unable to uncover any information concerning Jack's family history. In the next scene, we see Jack working as a server in a restaurant. Jianying, an MMA bettor, and his business associates enter at the restaurant. Jack steals Jianying's nice lighter when he isn't looking, but he is caught. As he verifies Jack's ID, Jianying's men beat him up. He gives him some money and offers him a job as their food delivery man after learning that he is a student. Henry pays a visit to Zulfa's house and discovers him fleeing from his father and his associates after stealing a ticket. He initially assists him, but after learning why he is being pursued, he sides with his father. Then he and Zulfa go to the bridge to hang out. Henry performs in the streets with a band to encourage Zulfa to do anything he wants. After being ridiculed at school for years, Zulfa joins him seconds later and performs in front of an audience for the first time. Meanwhile, Bruce and Chris' father, as is customary, arrives home late and asks them to bring him a beer from the shop. He yells at the brothers to leave his house when they refuse. The next day, Henry talks with their father and persuades him to send his sons to rehab. Denon's father, in the meantime, brings her a bag of cosmetics and urges her to pretend to be a girl for a day. Dinan is enraged at him because he always makes her feel inadequate. She puts on her younger brother's cosmetics and leaves the house with the car key. She is about to drive away in her father's automobile when Henry intervenes just in time. He informs her that driving without a license is against the law and offers an option. They then proceed to a go-kart racetrack. Henry also invites her father, forcing them to compete. During the race, the father and daughter show no mercy to each other and eventually end up outside the course. Denon's go-kart is suddenly attacked by a vehicle, but she manages to avoid it. Her father, unaware of this, weeps for his daughter's death. Dinan understands that he loves her and gives her a hug. The next day at school, Bruce and Chris, along with a group, are assigned to an interview with a recovering alcoholic at a recovery clinic. They are taken aback when they learn that the person they must interview is their father. The kids inquire about his drinking habits. The man responds that he loved his wife sincerely but that she abandoned him when he was at his lowest point. As a result, he began to drink and lost sight of the fact that he had 2 children to look after. Although the man does not divulge that Bruce and Chris are his sons, he expresses regret to them. The brothers are left in tears by the conclusion. Jack has started working for Jianying, an MMA bettor, somewhere else. He promises Jack a large sum of money in exchange for drugging a fighter's drink in the upcoming game. Jack is hesitant to accept the offer, but he is compelled to do so. Jianying sponsors a fighter but bets on his loss on the day of the bout. Jack tries to put drugs in the fighter's drink but gets apprehended. He is beaten up and put into a locker before he can blame Jianying. Henry arrives a short while later and asks the fighters if they have seen his student. The men ask him to return home, but Jack yells for aid from within the locker. When Henry realizes he is being held captive, he confronts them and easily defeats them. It gets a little stressful when the fights step it up, but Henry dodges their attacks with ease.